Hello and welcome to your EFL highlights. We've come to Lancashire today to close out the second month of the season with a meeting between two sides who have made identically impressive starts. Preston North End and Bristol City are both among the early pace setters in the Championship and could end the day in an automatic promotion spot. After finishing just 1 point above the drop zone last season, Preston have refreshed and regrouped with some exciting summer arrivals. And with positive results already secured against Ipswich, Leicester and Middlesbrough, there's growing optimism for the season ahead. New Bristol City boss Gerhard Struber has made a strong impression on his return to the EFL, guiding the club to their best league start in 5 years. The Robins are hoping to secure back-to-back top 6 finishes for the first time in the second tier. So Preston are unbeaten in the league here at Deepdale, while the visitors are yet to lose on their travels. Which of these strong starters will come out on top? Let's find out in the company of your match commentator, Dan Mason.
Preston can name an unchanged team today. Lewis Gibson has recovered from the knock that forced him off at Derby. With Ben Whiteman, Ali McCann and Alfie Devine all in form, the likes of Harrison Armstrong and Stefan Torderson must bide their time on the bench. Bristol City are also unchanged. Rob Atkinson is past fit despite lasting only 15 minutes against Oxford last time. Up front, Emil Rees makes a return to Deepdale after leaving Preston in the summer. He has 3 goals in as many matches coming into today. Gibson's clearance. Osmajic was the target. Bristol City turn over possession once again. Viner's pass finds Mehmeti, who'll go at the Preston defence. It's Anis Mehmeti, good save by Everson. Corner ball. Anis Mehmeti, statistically one of the Championship's top attackers at the moment. Close to a 4th goal in 4 games. Twine to deliver the Bristol City corner. Half clear to Mehmeti. Will he go for goal? It's blocked. And the rebound favours Preston here. Lewis Dobbin, he's got Osmajic streaking through the middle. Here he is. Oh, that's a poor touch. Milutin Osmajic letting the best opportunity of the game get away from him. Knight gets it away. Preston will begin again with Small. His crossfield pass brought down by Hughes. Gibson's shot saved, and again the 2 central defenders combining and forcing Radek Vitek into action. Terrific double stop from the Czech keeper. Good challenge from Randall, well timed. Now Knight, Mehmeti's flick. McCrory back to Mehmeti, who's in and onside. Oh, he's missed it. You would have put your house on him there. We've seen plenty of chances at Deepdale today, but nobody, it seems, can take them. Back to Story. Devine has spotted the run of Dobbin, and here is Osmajic. Another near miss, this time for Preston. And don't even get a corner out of it. McCrory now. Our allotted 5 minutes of injury time are almost up. Viner's chip. Mehmeti, he's in. Mehmeti, oh, that is a brilliant stop from Everson. Mehmeti could have won it in the last seconds of stoppage time. But a magnificent save by Daniel Everson somehow denies Bristol City maximum points.
So Preston North End's positive home form continues this afternoon. Wasn't to be all 3 points. Their manager Paul Heckingbottom joins us now. How do you analyse that?
Listen, it's a good point in the end. Overall, we might have had more of the ball, but they had more of the chances. So, yeah, and the fact that Dan made such a big save at the end, you know, makes it a really positive point for us because, you know, you heard me moan too many times last season. I think we had 20 draws and not one of those did I feel like we didn't deserve or we weren't the better team. So, yeah, that's been important, that mentality at the start of the season, and I thought it was evident again today.
Well, Gerhard, is that a day that you feel like you should have really been going home with more?
Yes, sometimes this is football. You have to accept a result on this level. We know we would deserve today 3 points, and my boys created and executed the match plan in a really good way. Yeah, the only one what we missed today, I would say, is a little bit luck. But this is sometimes football, and we have to deal with that. Performance-wise, I'm very, very happy.
It feels a very open championship season. I wonder how you assess the challenge and what you believe this team is capable of.
Statistically, it is the tightest from top to bottom league in the world. We see that over and over. I think it's even tighter again this season. And yeah, I'd agree that it is open, but that just makes it even harder because everyone's fighting. And you look at the amount of draws again today, that I don't think that's going to change for a while.
Next to a fascinating fixture between struggling Southampton and leaders Middlesbrough. The home side remain winless since the opening game of the season. Defeat here combined with results elsewhere could see the Saints slip into the bottom three. Things are much brighter for Borough, who are enjoying their best ever start to a second-tier season.
Middlesbrough comfortable in possession so far. Best defence in the division with just 4 goals conceded in their opening 6. Tommy making an option, as was Whittaker. Hackney into the feet of Morgan Whittaker. Aims for the free kick and gets one. He'll be around 20-25 yards from goal. Tommy Conway leaves it for Target. Matt Target off the post. Those Middlesbrough fans thought it was in up the other end. And the former Southampton man goes close. Smashes that post. And let off for Saints. Stretching back to last season, of course, it's just 1 victory in their last 20 league matches. Southampton. One here from Ross Stewart, who goes down. Claims of a penalty are waved away as Middlesbrough were nearly caught out at the back. Stewart took the touch on his chest, but Edmondson didn't look like too much in it from the defender. Shot from Charles. Fellows for Ryan Manning, urged to shoot, does so, drops to Finazaz. What a moment that would have been for him against his former club, but he couldn't direct the efforts on target. Manning's shot blocked, deflected off Jones and Edmondson. But Finazaz has to be punishing from that area. Ryan Manning over the Southampton corner. Manning's delivery. Quarsey's in there. And right on the stroke of half-time, heads over. Frustration for the defender. A great opportunity at the end of this first half. Armstrong into Charles. He's back here with Yander. Spreads it wide to Fellows. Clips one in. Jones got there. It was only as far as Armstrong. And it's the Southampton skipper who puts his side in front. 2 in his last 2 against Middlesbrough. Make it 3 in his last 3. A splendid finish from the striker. And Southampton are in front. Lukeli, ball in behind for Cali Sen. Sen's effort has found a way in. And for the second week in a row, substitute Cali Sen scores for Middlesbrough. And this one could be a vital equaliser. 1 apiece at St Mary's.
Thought second half we looked really, really good. Proactive, especially once we went a goal down, and reacted really, really well to going behind again, like we've done a couple of weeks ago against Preston when we were away from home. So it's a really good point. It's a hard place to come.
I think there's a lot of positives to take. Yeah, 100%. I think we've, welcomed the leaders. Done really well in the first half. Probably should have got a goal in that first half, and scored a really good goal. And then we've just got one desperately unlucky because it somehow ricocheted off the floor, bounced over, and looped into the net. The luck's not quite going our way for the moment, but we'll keep building. We'll keep working at it, because that's the only way.
Coventry's upward momentum has been calmed slightly by 3 straight draws. However, Frank Lampard's side remain unbeaten. Midlands neighbours Birmingham City secured a welcome victory last weekend to put 3 straight defeats in all competitions in the rearview mirror.
Both lingering just outside the top 6 at the start of play, both naturally with ambitions to be amongst that sextet come May. On Kitching, and on the follow-up is Thomas Asante. Kitching shot through the crowd, and Thomas Asante able to gobble it up on the rebound, and the Championship's top scorers have another.
It's a decent save, he just can't push it away. And Thomas Asante, like all good strikers, on the follow-up, onside, and on the money. And Coventry have that lead that they've been craving.
Oh, a touch from Eccles at some expense in bravely, knowing that Robinson was in the vicinity. He does, though, receive the first card of the day.
Yeah, genuine attempt, but it will be deemed a little bit reckless, trying to clear the ball.
This is Clara. But Thomas Asante has stolen it back. Oh, Robinson in trouble.
Oh, he's off.
Already booked. He now takes the walk.
Well, I think he's got his judgment all wrong here, because I do not think Haji Wright was going to get on the end of that ball. It was fizzing away from him. It was going to a Birmingham player, and so there was no need for Robinson to intervene in that way.
Thomas. Sakamoto's cross. Thomas Asante arriving. Eccles to keep it alive. And the referee gives the goal. It's squirmed over the line. And Coventry surely in the comfort zone now. Well, Bright, I say, Samuel will, unfortunately for him, see his name in print with the letters OG next to it.
It looked to the naked eye as if Ryan Alsop hadn't managed to keep it out, but technology proves that he didn't.
Bit of an up and under. Cashin isn't the master of it. Ellis Sims hopes to be, and arriving on the scene is Thorpe. Well, Rue 1 paying dividends for Coventry this time. Victor Thorpe with his 5th Championship goal of the campaign. He's now joint top scorer in the division.
And that really is game, set and mash, and it's harsh reality for Birmingham City at this level. And for Coventry, it's going to be a great afternoon.
We're happy with how we're playing different parts of our game, but there's so far to go, so long to go. It's a nice feeling today. You beat a good opposition here today, but I certainly won't get carried away. But yeah, we appreciate we're playing well. The challenge now is not to keep our feet on the ground, keep doing the good things, the basics. Even against 10 men, as I say, you can get sloppy. We didn't today. We were spot on. That makes me happy.
Very, very harsh to lose a player, an important player, any player, but to those yellow cards, obviously particularly the first one. I feel very frustrated by losing a player in that manner, but also across the game, if it's about yellow cards being dished out, how we were on the receiving end of so many and they were so few.
We turn our attention to the lower end of the table after the break, including rock-bottom Sheffield United. Could they finally get points on the board today? Oxford United secured their first victory of the campaign last weekend to move themselves out of the relegation zone. Chris Wilder's latest homecoming wasn't enough to stop Sheffield United slipping to a 6th straight defeat. Only one Championship club has previously managed to avoid relegation from this position.
Here is the Irishman, Bene. Curry and Crast over there. Brannigan's got to be careful. Bene will have it. Puts it back to the edge of the penalty area. Armour through the middle for Campbell. Best chance of the game so far. Every player in purple with their hands on their head because they know what an opportunity that is. Peck on the floor, wants the free kick, doesn't get it. Baheta, determined run from the Oxford United winger. He'll find the cross to the back post. It's knocked down by Prelet. Krastev is there. Can he wriggle some room? Takia's marker. Deflection saved by Cooper. They were lining up in yellow. 3 opportunities for Oxford United to get the strike away. Campbell, Samara. When it breaks to O'Hare, space in front of him. O'Hare, Tyrese Campbell finds space, it bobbles towards the back post just before Ogbene can get there. Curry is on hand to turn it behind for a corner. I think it was actually a cross from Campbell. Bene knocks it past his man. Old-fashioned wing play from the Sheffield United man. Finds O'Hare, who finds the corner excellently. Sheffield United lead in the Championship. Now the Oxford United defenders are asking, was that out of play? As Ogbene stretched to find the cross into the box. But Callum O'Hare take nothing away from that finish. Bolt, brilliant whip on that. Mees there with the header. Ellick, not a bad touch, to low cross. There's the chance for Lee. Oh, it strikes the post. So close to an instant impact from Greg Lee. Switch of play is on to Mills, up against McCallum, beats his man. Mills, it has to be a good cross, it is! Oh, and the header is wide. Sam Long up in the attack. He looked like he judged his arrival to perfection, but his header is a good yard or so wide. A win for Sheffield United after losing every game this season. Oxford United 0, Sheffield United 1.
We'll take that. I think we all understand being in this position before. The hardest one is the first one, to get over the line, but we did what we needed to do to keep the ball out of the back of the net, and delighted for the players because obviously it's been a tough time for them.
To Hillsborough we go next, where Sheffield Wednesday were hoping to build on last weekend's maiden league triumph. Visitors Queen's Park Rangers arrived in red-hot form, having won their last 3.
On dead ball duty is Barry Bannon, Wednesday's chief conjurer. Can he produce something special here? Plenty of options on the edge of the box. One of them is Dominic Iorfa. Nardi didn't get there. A first home league goal of the season for the Owls. It comes from an unlikely source. Madsen's corner. Kone's up there. And the referee's blown his whistle. It's a penalty. I think that must be a handball. John Brooks points to the spot. Bailey Cadamartri with the touch. Madsen scores. Rangers a level. Danish delight from 12 yards. The visitors still hopeful of making it 4 straight wins. Dembele, one of 3 players to come on for the start of this half. So close to making it 2-1 for Rangers.
quite a lively start at the racecourse, but Wyman couldn't find Morris, and Derby not happy with the challenge of O'Brien. Adams was the man who's gone down, and it looks like the card will be yellow. Could it have been even more than that? Windass, and Longman coming in, and Johnston hits his own post. And now Morris. Hanging one up towards Johnston! Turned away by Okonkwo. And he's so nearly scored at both ends of the field. Here's Kabore. 1-2 with Sheaf. Kabore with a lovely cross! Lewis O'Brien! It's the former Nottingham Forest man who has scored against Derby, and he made the perfect run to the near post to nod Wrexham into the lead. And by Forsyth, good flick by Ajimak. Breton Diaz beyond Brunt. Breton Diaz! That is a very special goal. What a way to open your Derby County account. Ben Breton Diaz with the goal of the game. Wrexham won, Derby won.
Burnley does well to get away from his man. Now on to Gelhardt. On now to Drama. Ball in the box towards McBurney. He simply cannot be stopped at the moment. Can Hull City's number 9. Drama with the ball in. McBurney with the first time finish. Out towards McBurney. He's already got one today, and he's nearly got a second. How he was mightily close to adding Hull's second and a brace for himself. Semedo gives chase. Egan is the Hull City defender, trying to make life hard for him. In towards Imran Louza! He puts his influence on this game, and it's 1-1 at Vicarage Road. The first of the season for Imran Louza as Watford draw level in this second half. Louza. Now towards Kayembe. Caleb Wiley gets the ball in. Oh, it's built by Panda! And there on the line to deny Semedo is Sam Hughes. His delivery is met by Semedo! Not to be denied this time. And what a time to score your first Watford goal. Vivaldo Semedo meets the ball in from Louza, past the keeper, and Watford lead for the first time today. Louza will take. His Pollock's header off the bar. Akintola gets it back. Akintola goes for it. Saved well by Baxter. As Watford secure their second win of the season here this afternoon.
I am a person not for results. I happy or not happy. No, I am happy for performance today. The team did a good performance. This is happy.
Plenty more to enjoy after the break as Liam Manning looks to make a statement at Stoke, and Leicester City head for the Hawthorns. Plus, we'll join the Saints Foundation as their fundraising efforts reach new heights. After another home defeat last weekend, Liam Manning was probably grateful to be back on the road today, as all 7 of the points he's taken as Norwich boss have come away from home. Meanwhile, second-place Stoke City were eager to bounce back from defeat at Queen's Park Rangers.
Pelle Madsen, been drawn from the Danish club Silkeborg. He's back on the ball here. And picks a good pass for Stacey. Plenty queuing up in the middle, and in from the Nakama. Got the merest of touches to it, and it was all that it needed. And Jovan Nakama scores on his first Norwich City start. It is Norwich City who lead. Johansson with height and distance on his clearance. Obama helping it on. Here is Manhoff once more, running at Medic this time. Million Manhoff, support arriving again, he takes it on. The goalkeeper gets something on it, but Sorba Thomas is there. And as shade over 2 minutes into the second half, Stoke City are level. Parity restored in the Potteries. Seko again, Million Manhoff. Thomas, back for Manhoff, oh, so unlucky. Full time at the Bet365 Stadium. Stoke City 1, Norwich City 1.
Ipswich chase a fortress-like status at Portman Road once more. Payusta sweeping it out to Filigi. Steps onto his right foot and whips it wonderfully. Pushing Ipswich all the time. Jayden Filigi, fresh from his hat-trick against Sheffield United. He is at it again. The hosts on the front foot, probing, pressing. Now here's Leif Davis raiding down the left-hand side into Hurst, who scores against one of his former clubs. A lack of celebration, but a crucial second for the hosts. So much space for Leif Davis to expose, leaving it on a plate. The Hurst to score, Ipswich is second. Portsmouth's running out of time. Can they garner a consolation? Whipped in towards the box, and there's Marlon Pack. Recently back from injury. Surely it's too late for Pompey, though.
James Bree organising, been a problem for Blackburn all match. That's a great delivery, and that's an even better finish. Macaulay Gillespie, Charlton's match winner in the playoff final at Wembley, opened his account in the Championship. Got away from the defender and planted the header perfectly. Rovers just cannot find a way through at the moment. Cantwell, this is promising. Oh, they're claiming handball. Lloyd-Jones with the block. Cantwell is aghast, the referee completely unmoved, and there is no penalty. Cantwell was adamant. Well, he does go down, but there wasn't the contact that Cantwell thought. Alafe, good work. Carey, oh, what a shot! What a hit! Only one thought in his mind, to let fly, and Baras Tot, no chance. Supreme hold-up play by the striker, and then topped by that finish. He deserves all the plaudits. Charlton in control. Olafe, Rovers just haven't got hold of him. Here's Bree, and it's number 3. Rovers completely sunk. That's the 3 points. Charlton home and dry, completing a miserable week for Blackburn Rovers. But for Charlton, back-to-back wins, 4 goals, none conceded. They're settling in nicely.
I thought we were absolutely outstanding from start to finish. Like, actually not start to finish, because I don't think we started the game brilliantly in the first 5-10 minutes. But after that, when we got the grips of it, look, we were brilliant, and we've had chances, real good chances, as well as the 3 we scored.
There's a mistake, and Inusa can Sees on that and get into the penalty area, and he pulls it back, and Ronaldo with a lovely touch to give himself room to shoot. What a finish, Vipotnik's goal. Super play by Swansea City, and Vipotnik just keeps on scoring this season.
Was there any way it wasn't going to come from those two? Great play down left side, get lucky, a bit fortunate as he gets into the box. Poor defending from Millwall's point of view, a couple of chances to clear it, but the reactions from Vipotnik just to backheel this in, wonderful from the striker that's on form.
It's rolled short. Now it goes into the penalty area. Cooper is competing. Across it goes, and it's in. Coburn has his goal. What a relief for him. Millwall at level. A chance from close range, and Josh Coburn has his first of the season.
It's wonderful from Dominic Cooper at the far post. And Coburn's on the spot to make it count.
Full time at the Swansea.com Stadium. Swansea City 1, Millwall 1.
To Friday's fixture at the Hawthorns, where West Brom were hoping to end their two-game losing streak. Visitors Leicester were also seeking a return to winning ways, following back-to-back draws.
Fatawu nicely linking up with Ricardo Pereira. Ayew gives chase to this, and Ayew gets to it. It's Ayew! And just like last week, Leicester City unable to take a really good opportunity, but a bright start by the visitors here.
The build-up play is brilliant. The angle is against him, is tight. Great understanding on the right-hand side for Leicester. Good start to the game from them.
There's Phillips, part of this all-new West Bromwich Albion backline this season. Lovely touch to find Illing Jr. Price is to his right. Illing Jr. could go it alone here, and does! As first impressions go, how about that?
Well, the pace, the balance, the finish is outstanding, but Leicester started the first 10 minutes brilliantly as a team, but they have individuals, West Brom, who can hurt you, and Illing Jr. is one of them.
Albion still hold the lead thanks to that goal from Sam Illing Jr. in the first half. Mowat's delivery, Phillips with the climb. Ayew? Oh, Leicester hesitated there, and they could be punished. It's the side netting which is struck, but hesitancy at the back there from Leicester City, and they weren't punished. Well, Vestergaard stepping in, and frustrated that the free kick has been given against him, and just needs to watch his step, Yannick Vestergaard, with his reaction, which is always easy for us to say up here. Jed Wallace having a look at this. Solaki makes the save, and the follow-up somehow is blazed over. An incredible moment as Josh Maja tried to seal the game. Beautifully done by Price. How about that? He's showing off now. There's Collier. It's Collier! Another chance comes and goes for West Bromwich Albion.
Collier, I think he has a look up. He's thinking about playing the ball to Maja. Decides to take the strike on. Got to hit the target, though.
Corner in towards that near post, and Albion deal with it for now. Here's Winks. Fatawu. Sent in by Fatawu. Across the face, a goal and in! And Leicester City do have their leveller. Bobby D. Cordova-Reid takes the congratulations. And the Leicester City fans had ringside seats for that. This is the Hawthorns. Leicester City usually gets something here. West Bromwich Albion, hearts broken. Leicester, the heartbreak is here again.
Unbeaten Middlesbrough remain 4 points clear at the top despite drawing at Southampton. Fellow unbeaten side Coventry climb into second above Stoke on goal difference. Charlton jump from 12th to 7th after back-to-back victories. Sheffield United stay bottom but pick up their first win of the season. Oxford drop into the relegation zone with Derby moving above them courtesy of their point at Wrexham. Watford climb 5 places to 16th after their first victory in 5. This week we sent Sam homeward down south to see the unique way that the Saints Foundation is raising vital funds to help support the people of Southampton.
So, what do all of these lovely people here and ex-Saints star Andrew Sermon have in common? Well, today is the annual Big Saints Skydive, and they're all about to jump out of that plane. We excited? Yeah, they are. So, while we find out what today is all about, let's let them get ready.
Welcome everybody to the Saints Foundation, and we hope you have a great skydive.
So we run fundraising events throughout the season so that fans and supporters can get involved and raise money for the Foundation's work. We work with over 6,000 participants every season. A couple of years ago, we thought of the idea of doing a skydive, and then we thought how fun it would be to jump with the Saints legend, and that's why they're jumping with Andy Sermon today.
That's absolutely mental, isn't it? How about you in a bit? So why are you jumping out of a plane today?
It's for Saints Foundation. They do unbelievable work in the community, and I think for me, I'm just turning up and I'm the idiot jumping out the plane. But when you've seen the work they do, some of the events I've been at, and hear some of the stories that people tell and some of the work that Saints Foundation have done to help them, I mean, it's inspiring, and I just think, yeah, it's actually a privilege to be here and just to help out.
Today I'm jumping for the Saints Foundation as it's helped me quite a lot in my own personal struggles in life. I went through quite a lot of PTSD and mental health issues. Luckily the foundation was there at the time when I needed them the most, and they helped me tenfold.
It's for such a good cause. The foundation means everything to me. They help me grow as a participant on the pitch and off the pitch. And now, obviously, I've been given the opportunity to work with them as well. They've done so much for me to raise money for them. It's just the least I could do.
So last year, the Saints Big Skydive jumped from 10,000 feet. This year, they're upping the stakes, quite literally, and jumping from 15,000. And guess what? This guy is flying the plane. All right, that isn't true, but they are jumping from 15,000 feet.
Honestly, fantastic experience. Like, if I could recommend it to anyone, 100% do it, especially if you can do it for charity.
It was a real out-of-body experience. It was crazy. I don't know if I'd do it again, but it was so good.
I'm doing it again. I want to go now. It's incredible, but it's never enough. There's always something more that we should be doing and need to kind of be doing, especially for the Saints Foundation, because they are across the city. They're everywhere.
In terms of that immediate rush, scoring a goal, jumping out of a plane.
You know, I don't know. I still think scoring a goal. I didn't score many, to be fair, so I've not really had that feeling a lot. But yeah, jumping out of a plane, I can't really believe I've done it, to be honest. But the bigger picture is the Saints Foundation, all the good work they're doing, and this event's raised £17,000 for an amazing cause. It's incredible. So credit to everyone involved. I'm just really, really lucky to be part of it. Love being ambassador for the Saints Foundation, and another step in the right direction.
Bradford, Stevenage and Lincoln make for an unfamiliar top 3 in League One. We'll see if the current front runners could continue to exceed expectations next. Bradford City are top of League One for the first time since 2005, following their impressive victory at Cardiff City. Today, the Bantams welcomed a Blackpool side that claimed a much-needed win 7 days ago.
Bradford took 5,000 fans up to St James's Park midweek as they were humbled in the Carabao Cup. Back on home turf, the promotion-chasing Bantams took on a Blackpool side who had won their last 2 in League and Cup without conceding. This time, Steve Bruce's side couldn't keep a clean sheet. Josh Nerfill scored for the 3rd consecutive league game. That goal enough to make sure Graham Alexander's Bradford City remain top of the table.
Oh, miscontrol in the wrong area as well. Forward by Karoma. Red shirts in the middle. And Aaron Connolly is there to fire it home. A 3rd goal of the season for the Irishman. And against the League One hotshots, it is Orient who strike first. Here's Labala. Only half cleared. Harvey White. Oh, 1-1. And Stevenage were behind for barely moments. 3 goals in 4 games for Harvey White. In towards Piagiani. Oh, the header and the goal. Lewis Freestone, his first league goal in 4 seasons. There is another threat from a corner. Piagiani this time. Oh, it's in! Carl Piagiani squeezing one in past the post. And Stevenage's lead has doubled. Oh, flashed at. Frame of the goal. And in! Dom Ballard. 10 points from a possible 12 for Stevenage. They've beaten Leyton Orient by 3 goals to 2.
Robinson wanted it short, but instead they'll go even shorter to Wintle. Here is Robinson. Ashford ahead of him. In fact, it's Bagan ahead of him as well. Instead decides to switch it over to Davies. Here's Joel Colwell. And this is excellent attacking play from Cardiff City. And there's the deflection, and there's the opening goal. Perry NG with a shot. Clever little ball through to Colwell. Now a chance to finish it for Select. He had his shirt pulled, and is that a penalty? It is. Well, Select just got the wrong side of Morgan Fox. It goes from bad to worse for Wigan Athletic. Morgan Fox sent off, straight red. The 3 points will go Cardiff City's way. Yusuf Select finishes the job from the spot.
Pre-season title favourites Huddersfield travelled to Exeter with a point to prove after just 1 win in 4 and being booed off following a 0-0 draw with Burton last week. This was more like what the fans and manager Lee Grant wanted from their team. Leo Castledine had already scored a couple of goals in cup competitions. This was his first in the league. Huddersfield in front in 28 minutes. It's worth another look. A fine strike from the Chelsea loanee, though his manager appeared unmoved. Exeter haven't been in the best form themselves, 4 straight defeats in all competitions, but they thought they'd drawn level here after Pierce Sweeney hit the bar and Jack Fitzwater nodded home the follow-up. But it was ruled out for offside. For a team that started the day just 4 points off the bottom, Exeter played some pretty impressive stuff. This well-worked move fashioned a shooting opportunity for Reece Cole. Lee Nichols kept the score at 1-0. Huddersfield had their share of chances to extend their lead. Alfie May's effort was the closest they came to a second from 22 attempts. In the end, just the one that was on target proved enough for the win.
Port Vale's sudden improvement continued at high-flying Barnsley. The better side for the first hour. Vale delivered on that performance soon afterwards. Jordan Gabriel scoring his first goal for the club. Perhaps Barnsley was still feeling the shock of their 6-0 thumping by Brighton, the Tykes' joint biggest home defeat. Old boy Devante Cole might have added to their woes, but for Murphy Cooper's save. Some Barnsley fans had already seen enough by the time Vale sealed the points. Those that did leave were spared Ryan Croasdale's 89th minute strike, which guaranteed a 3rd consecutive league win.
Luton fans face the toss of a coin ahead of every game at the minute. They either win or they lose. This side don't do draws. 15 matches in League and Cup without it ending all square. They face Doncaster, and Ian Lawler was taking no chances with Lamine Fane's early volley. Half an hour later, Lawler was beaten. Having spent the back end of last season on loan, Kai Naismith signed permanently for a 2nd time for Luton in the summer, and the captain headed in George Saville's free kick, his first goal for the club since April 2022. Hatters boss Matt Bloomfield had been under pressure this week. His side had lost their last 2 league matches at home, a performance and a victory needed to get the fans back on side. Just before the break, Nakeem Wells was brought down by Jamie Sterry. Wells had only scored once so far this season. That was from the spot in the defeat to Plymouth at home a fortnight ago. Wells took responsibility for this one as he aimed to lift some of that pressure from his under-fire gaffer. Lawler denied the veteran striker. The 1 goal enough for Luton to take the points. It's now 16 matches without a draw.
Peterborough United and Lincoln City have both won their past 2 league games. However, they occupy very different parts of the table. Despite their recent revival, Posh still sit in a relegation place. Meanwhile, the visitors are riding high in 3rd and ran Chelsea close in the Carabao Cup in midweek.
The impressive Imps went into the weekend in 3rd. Adam Reach has produced some screamers in his career. Another cracker was actually his first goal in over 3 years, would you believe? Opening his Lincoln account in style, fair to say the visiting faithful rather enjoyed it. Peterborough had been revived of late following their sorry start to the campaign. Jimmy J. Morgan so nearly got them back on terms. Was it going to be that sort of day? Quite possibly. City hadn't triumphed at this stadium since 2006, but they've been looking good on the road this term. Tendai Darikwa last experienced a scoring sensation in March, but doubled their advantage. Only 1 league loss so far, encouraging stuff for them. Their opponents return to losing ways. In League One, it's 2-2 for Justin Abikwu, 3-0 and 3 more points for Michael Scubala's Happy Travellers.
Plymouth lost to the team that started the day bottom of the table last weekend and almost fell behind to this weekend's basement dwellers Burton in the opening moment at the Pirelli Stadium. But since that defeat to Peterborough, Plymouth have found their scoring boots, firing 6 in cup action in midweek. And after that early scare, they started to show some serious attacking intent. It took a spectacular save from Brad Collins to keep out Malachi Boateng. He was proving to be extremely elusive, with the Burton defence struggling to keep tabs on the Plymouth midfielder. It was his cross that led to the game's opening goal. Laurent Talai with his 2nd in the league just after the half hour. Plymouth had a 2nd before half-time. Boateng involved again, this time with the flick-on for Owen Oseni to slide home his 2nd league goal of the season. 10 minutes into the second half, Argyle's Bradley Ibrahim reacted quickest to a loose ball before sending in Talai for his 2nd of the game and Plymouth's 3rd. It was proving to be another miserable afternoon for Burton, who hadn't won since the opening weekend of the season or scored a league goal in over a month. They conceded a 4th 9 minutes from time when Arabin Peppel scored his first league goal for Plymouth to complete the rout.
Goals haven't been a problem for Stockport this season, although on this occasion Ethan Pye might have a different view. It's a regular diet of wins that's been restricting their progress up the table. Last week at Rotherham, for example, was their 1st in 4. So when top scorer Carl Wootton snaffled a loose ball after 22 minutes for his 5th league goal of the season, County fans were both happy but also wondering how long they'd hold the advantage, because they'd seen their team drop too many points from winning positions already. And their fears were realised midway through the second half. Jack Marriott's quick feet ruined Ben Hinchcliffe's hopes of another clean sheet. That's a goal in each of his last 4 games to rescue another welcome point on the road.
A comedy of errors at Northampton. Conor McCarthy's back pass was a corker, so full marks to Mason Burstow, who somehow managed to top it. This was not the finish of a man with 4 goals in his last 6 games. And it was an expensive miss for Bolton, who hadn't lost since the first day of the season. Cameron McGeehan scored the breakthrough goal for Northampton, managed, of course, by Bolton legend Kevin Nolan. Moments later, his team were given the chance to seal things from the spot after a Mario Cozier-Dubry brought down Michael Forbes. From the penalty, Sam Hoskins did the necessary, albeit at the 2nd time of asking, and the Cobblers had a first league win over Bolton since December 1989.
Rotherham headed to Mansfield with a woeful record on the road this campaign. 4 league matches, 4 defeats. What they needed was to hit the ground running or the opposition to stumble. It was a bit of both. Jordan Hugel's early attacking intent helped win a penalty when Fraser Blake-Tracy handled his shot. Hugel took the spot kick and calmly gave his side the lead inside 7 minutes. The Stags may well have had that familiar sinking feeling. 3 league wins on the spin in August were but a distant memory, as Nigel Clough's side had failed to pick up any points in their last 4. A good old-fashioned goalmouth scramble, a fair indicator that a side is creating chances, but struggling to turn them into goals. A second before half-time would have made things a little more comfortable for the Millers, but Josh Benson's free kick was just an inch or so too high. And that left the door open for history to repeat itself. Just after the hour mark, Tyler Roberts reacted quickest to a throw-in. Still plenty of work to be done as the Birmingham City loanee closed in to score his first for the club. Sure enough, Rotherham lost away from home again when they conceded late on the Ryder Cup weekend, when Team USA don't have much to celebrate, American Don Dwyer powered home the winner.
Goes the ball and header goalwards. Omar Bougail opens the scoring for Wimbledon. Johnson. It's turned into an interesting ball for Bougail, who uses his strength to good effect. Seddon! And Seddon has doubled the lead for Wimbledon. So here comes the delivery, and it looked for a moment they would get a good head on that, but it's back out, and oh, it's clipped off the bar, and I don't think Bishop knew much about that. Grimmer. Onyedinma has some space again. Can they get the delivery right? It's looking promising, and it has dipped in. Well, it's Henderson.
There was no change to League One's top 5 as they all won today. Wimbledon replaced Barnsley in the last playoff spot after 3 consecutive victories. Luton's first win in 3 puts them within 3 points of the top 6. No change in the relegation zone after all 4 lost. Port Vale climbed to 16th following a 3rd straight win. Michael Duff tasted league defeat for the first time as Chairboys manager as they dropped to 20th. We make the move to League 2 after the break, where Gillingham are back on top. Would their historic run of form continue today? Gillingham set a new club record last weekend as they extended their unbeaten run to 21 league games. The comeback win over Newport took the Gills to the League 2 summit. Harrogate Town were the latest club to take a swing at Gareth Ainsworth's record breakers.
Gillingham manager Gareth Ainsworth asked his unbeaten team to send out a statement to the rest of League 2 against Harrogate, but it was the visitors who were making all the noise on 16 minutes. Stephen Duke McKenna with his 4th of the season to give Harrogate a shock lead at Priestfield, leaving Ainsworth in an unfamiliar position. Still plenty of time to recover, but Josh Andrews' header, tipped away by James Belshaw, was the closest they came to an equaliser, as Ainsworth fell to his first defeat since taking over in March.
I've been in this game a long time. With the first game I've lost, it certainly won't be the last. But after such a good run, all I can say is I'm thankful to the boys that it's taken 6 months for this interview. It's finally happened. We get back on next week.
It's 3 years since Salford were top of the league, so any slip-up by Gillingham was most welcome. Even more so when Matt Butcher gave them the lead after just 11 minutes against the club where he spent last season on loan without ever scoring. Salford's best start to a league campaign had its perfect energy boost, but in first half stoppage time, Luke Southwood's free kick found its way to Ellis Harrison, and one little flick did the rest. So much for Carl Robinson's pre-match call for more Salford shutouts. And the Salford manager will surely make defensive drills top priority next week, because midway through the second half, his backline just opened up. Fabrizio Cavani, in his current run of form, doesn't miss those. A goal for the 3rd league game running. But the Armies were far from cooked. They were awarded a penalty in stoppage time when George Grant went down under a challenge from Luke Thomas. But the referee had barely made that decision before he was showing a red card to Salford's Haji Ngoa. And then all eyes were on teammate Luke Garbett to rescue a point. Only for Southwood to save the day for the Gas, and City to forget all thoughts of going top.
Matt Sadler's Walsall love life on the road, unbeaten in their last 4 on their travels with 3 wins. And just after the hour mark, the away day specialists found their opener. 36-year-old Aidan Flint with his first goal for the club. He might just be eyeing up another entry on an impressive EFL CV. 15 minutes from time, it was 2-0, and another win on the road looked a formality. This time it was Aaron Pressley who had Stanley's defence all shook up as he scored against his old side from close range. But there was still time for a late scare. Accrington were one of only 4 sides in League Two yet to lose at home. They weren't going to give that record up without a fight, and as the game entered into time added on, Charlie Caton pulled one back. Fighting for the draw played into the hands of one of the most experienced on the pitch. As Albert Adoma latched onto a clearance, the 37-year-old scored in time added on against Tranmere last week. He was at it again, a classy finish. He broke out the walking cane for his celebration last week. This, another beauty. There's life in the old dog yet.
This a meeting of Robins and Ravens. Both have been flying high, but Swindon was singing more merrily as Ollie Palmer bagged his first EFL goal for the club. Bromley had won on their only previous league visit here, but keeper Grant Smith had a day he'll want to forget very quickly indeed. The prolific Aaron Drinan benefiting this time to make it 7 goals in his last 6 full-tier appearances and 5 maximums in 6 for Ian Holloway's vibrant team.
On a run of 4 without a win, Chesterfield welcomed the arrival of a Newport side whose form was even worse. They were winless in 9 in all competitions, and a goal down on 34 minutes, Will Grigg the scorer. Chesterfield had another before half-time, and it was another Will on the score sheet. Will Dixon this time, and it was all his own work. Newport seemed happy enough to let him keep going, so he did. That was his first senior goal. With 10 minutes to play, the visitors gave themselves just a glimmer of hope. Michael Spellman hadn't scored since December. His deflected effort made it 2-1. But in spite of his attempts to spur his side on, any thoughts of a comeback were quickly extinguished as Chesterfield restored their 2-goal advantage. Ronan Darcy with the tidy finish. And they had time for another as well, and it was another one where Newport's defence allowed too much time and space and were punished for it. This time it was Dylan Markanday who was allowed to pick his way into the box before firing his first goal since the opening weekend of the season.
Right into the goalkeeper and nodded in at the far post. It's another special piece of service, and it's the captain Demetriou who meets it.
Jones rides the challenge. Hall. Great footwork, good control as well to keep possession. Yopenda, Sarula! Equaliser found just before half-time. Jones fizzes it in. Great bit of fizzing it too. Jatta at his feet. It's off the post. And it stays out. Another long throw into the box. Again, it bounces all the way through. There's a lot of pushing and shoving as well as the referee points to the spot. It's a penalty. March to make amends for his miss earlier this season. Strokes it into the corner. And Josh March's 3rd league goal of the season may just bring 3 massively important points.
More League Two is just around the corner as MK Dons try to stop their slide down the table. In form, Oldham and Barnet face off, and Cheltenham Town begin life without Michael Flynn. Oldham and Barnet met in the EFL for the first time at Boundary Park. The promoted pair have found their feet in League Two and were both protecting winning runs this afternoon.
Glover sizing up the long throw here. Go the heads, it's been allowed to bounce, and the referee says penalty. Well, it appears to have brushed the hand of an Oldham player, and it's Shelton who is getting ready to take this.
It's Shelton from the spot, and he slots it away sweetly. Conlon's cross, up go the heads again, off the line, and a second time it's still a scramble, and it's a penalty. Mellon with a chance for his second for the club, and sends it right down the middle. It's a super penalty, and Oldham Athletic deservedly level.
Cheltenham had Aaron Downs and Ashley Vincent in charge for the trip to Grimsby, as life after Michael Flynn began for the side rooted to the bottom of League Two. It started well. Isaac Hutchinson tapped in the opener for the Robins, and the new manager bounce gave the Aussie Downs plenty to shout about. But soon it was all over bar the shouting. Jamie Walker's first goal for Grimsby was something special to level things up. The Blundell Park faithful had barely taken their seats when Walker did it again. Two worldies in the space of 2.5 minutes had turned this match around. One of the big decisions Cheltenham's caretaker had made was to give Harry Pell a start against his old side. It didn't work out. A second yellow on the stroke of half-time for a wild challenge, and Cheltenham were down to 10. His first start of the season ended before the first 45 had even been completed. Pell's red mist must have been infectious in the dressing room. Just 5 minutes after the break, Lee Angol picked up his second booking of the match. Another red card followed. Cheltenham already low on confidence, now low on numbers. The 9 men lasted just 3 minutes before conceding a third. Jays Cabia wasn't going to miss out on an opportunity to extend his red-hot goal-scoring form, his 7th in League and Cup. It was soon 4-1 as the 9 men struggled to fend off wave after wave of attack. Jaden Sweeney with the freedom of the Cheltenham box to score his first goal for the Mariners. It was already a huge job for whoever comes in to take over for Cheltenham on a permanent basis. Now the new gaffer will have to pick the squad up from a demoralising defeat. Charles Vernon made it 5-1. There was still almost 30 minutes left to play. Sweeney scored his second with 10 minutes left. It's been some month for David Artell's side, beating Manchester United in the League Cup, and now this. It was 7th heaven when Evan Khoury steered in for 7-1. Where on earth did Cheltenham go from here?
They've been the tamest of shrews thus far. Callum Patterson set about trying to inflict more pain on Michael Appleton's strugglers. His throw was flicked on by captain Alex Gilby, and Scott Hogan got off the mark for the campaign for MK Dons, who'd been on a bad run themselves. Just 1 point from their last 4 league outings. A lively Aaron Nemain was kept out, but Will Collar took the situation by the scruff of the neck, his first for the club. Paul warns visitors on course for a satisfying away day. Chuck Sanike hadn't previously scored for the Shropshire side, but he made his former team sweat. It didn't affect the outcome, though. In reality, Shrewsbury have had little to smile about this season.
Chances at a premium at Prenton Park, where visitors Cambridge came closest to taking a first-half lead. Dominic Ball denied by the sprightly 44-year-old Joe Murphy in the Tranmere goal. It's over a month since Rovers last won in the league, and they rarely looked like ending that run here. Some scrappy defending gave Patrick Brough a sight of goal. He was off target. It ended 0-0.
Barrow had to close their training ground during the week when the squad was hit by illness, but you wouldn't know it from the way they tore into Crawley. Josh Gordon scored his first goal since returning to Barrow. His previous 3 were a hat-trick against the same opposition in 2023. When Isaac Fletcher doubled Barrow's lead in first-half stoppage time, it looked as if nothing could stop Andy Wing's side. But Crawley were to finish the stronger, regaining momentum when Geraldo Bairami halved the deficit with 25 minutes to go. But Barrow's luck held, particularly in the 96th minute, when the post denied Josh Flint and Ryan Loft couldn't force in the loose ball.
Just as Tommy Fleetwood's looking to turn his world blue across the Atlantic, so Colchester had the same idea on the Lancashire coast. And after 3 minutes in Fleetwood, Kyrie's Lisby set them on their way. Too many draws have so far frustrated Danny Cowley's promotion ambitions this season, and lo and behold, the away support wouldn't have been surprised when on the half hour, Ethan Ennis found himself unmarked to equalise with his first league goal. But within minutes, the home defence got in a muddle. James Bolton handled Jack Payne's goal-bound shot, and United were awarded a penalty. Having been denied once, Payne had no intention of letting it happen again, and 2-1 was a decent half-time position. What happened after the break will have made for a sombre journey back to Essex. In fact, manager Danny Cowley may have wondered if half his defence had left early, because Jordan Davis was unmarked for an equaliser soon after the restart. And the warning signs kept flashing for the U's, even though Town left it until 3 minutes from time to take full advantage. Davis again left to his own devices. 3 goals now in 2 matches, and still the home team weren't finished. Who in yellow and blue was meant to be picking up Mark Helm? And to think last season Colchester kept clean sheets home and away against Fleetwood. This was their worst result of the campaign.
Gillingham's club record unbeaten run came to an end, and they lost top spot as a result. Walsall are back at the summit with Swindon level on points in second. Bristol Rovers move into the last playoff spot after a 5th win in 6. Another bad week for managerless Cheltenham, who stay bottom and were hit for 7 at Grimsby. In fact, the bottom 5 all lost, so there's little change in the lower half. There's a full championship fixture list to enjoy during the week. Watch all the key moments from midnight on Wednesday on ITV4. Or catch up on ITVX. We'll also be back next Saturday at 9 p.m. on ITV4 with another round of EFL highlights from all 3 divisions. So that's it from Deepdale, where goals were in very short supply today, but that wasn't the case at Blundell Park, where Grimsby found themselves in 7th heaven.
Walker. Oh, that's wonderful! It's Walker again! 3-1 Grimsby. Cheltenham's woes continue. Surely it's 5, Burnham. Sweeney, his 2nd of the game. Evan Corey. It's 7, thanks to Evan.